Hey, what's going on, Aries? Welcome to your November 2019 reading. We're going to start out by getting an oracle card from the Wisdom of House of Night. Just something that can help, something that you need to hear. So let's just get this oracle card for you, Aries, before we begin with the traditional tarot. So what is the message for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising for November 2019? Just give me one card, please, for the zodiac sign of Aries. Thank you. Okay, wow. Aries, bottom of the deck is lust, and the card coming out is differences. Okay, we've got some light and dark. We've got the orange and the apple. Everybody's differences are divine. You might be dealing with some polarity, oppositions. Okay, so let's just read from the book here on page 98. Alright, so in the book, this card says, choosing the symbol for differences asks you to accept that you will not always agree with everyone and they may not always agree with you. Huge Aries message there of not everyone agreeing with each other and always agreeing with you, Aries. As your goddess, I have seen many things since the beginning of time. Know that the intricate differences between all beings are sacred and good. You must learn to accept that others are not the same as you. It's important to allow others to express their own opinions. Consider the difference between an orange and an apple. Both are fruit, but they are different. Is one more valuable than the other? I don't think so. All beings have a right to their uniqueness. Try to see and hear the other person's side if you can. So Aries, there's definitely some differences between you and another person, a thing, or a place. A lot stuck out to me here, especially, the fact that not everyone is always going to agree. I felt a lot of Mars energy coming up when I was reading that to you. So there might be a difference in opinion or something with you and another person in November that makes you feel a little bit aggressive. It makes you feel a little bit like they're trying to compete or just because someone doesn't agree with you, Aries, or something, it doesn't mean that they want war with you, and this reminds me of Mars moving into Scorpio on the 20th. That's your ruling planet. Mars also rules Scorpio, so Mars is going to be very confident here. Okay, differences are intricate. They're very important, Aries. They're sacred. I want you to embrace differences this month in you and other people. Instead of seeing that as a bad thing, allow others to express their own opinion, Aries, but also express yours as well, right? Let's see. It doesn't mean that someone else is more right or wrong or valuable than you. All things in the universe have a right to be unique and different. So try to see that in a positive way, and also try to see and hear. This is all about other people's opinions and sides for some reason, Aries, this month. Underlying energy is lust and denial. So these are the things that you're paying attention to and listening to. The 14th and the 24th of November could be important. You may be wanting to reach for a connection, a sexual connection, something that you desire, something that you may slightly be obsessed over. With this lust card, it's kind of like the devil card. It might be a Capricorn. But yeah, you're reaching for something a little bit too soon. So you want to ask yourself why it is that you desire what you're reaching for in November, Aries, because this card asks you to question the desire of you or another person. It might be sexual, and this card is all about reaching for something too soon. Okay, so there's something here about that. We may refer back to that if it comes up again, but there's some differences here between what you can obtain and access in November and what is just out of reach because of timing, because the universe is saying not yet, Aries. And it's very interesting. As I was shuffling your cards, I did feel the sensation of rushy energy. I felt the energy of trying to beat the clock. And it kind of made me laugh a little bit because Aries are already go-getters. You guys are already people who charge in head first because you're the ram. Also, you're the first zodiac sign, Aries. So the other zodiac signs are kind of different from you. As you represent the I am. Aries knows who they are. Other people may not. Knowing who you are may also put you in a position to question who other people are. And it's kind of like letting them find that out kind of energy. But yeah, I did feel the energy of being rushed. I felt the energy of time, and it just must not be, with the denial card here, you're being told to listen to the light and dark of what is ready and what is not. Basically, what you can see that is ready in November and what remains to be unknown. Okay, but definitely the energy of trying to get something done. I even started shuffling the cards a lot faster and a lot more aggressive. So there's some kind of result or something that you want in November, but just be careful of rushing, Aries. Okay, just wanted to put that out there. Now we have the Emperor here. This is your ruling tarot card. Before we shuffle the cards, I would like to look at the underlying energy for you for November. Okay, this is the energy that you could have been feeling over the last couple of days, the energy you feel as you watch this video, whenever that might be, and the energy you may feel the next couple of days after the reading. So the card right behind you, Aries, is the Five of Cups. So we do have some Aries out there watching who are kind of in emotional conflict. It is Scorpio season. We're headed into Sagittarius season on the 22nd of November. That's another fire energy. And that's going to be your 5th house. I'm sorry, your 9th house. So this is going to be different for you than what Scorpio was. Scorpio is your 8th house of death and transformation. So there's going to be deep emotions that come up in November. This is what you're immediately feeling. This is probably the most important message for you. Some of you are focused on the past, something that didn't work out, something that's water under the bridge. Be careful of being pessimistic, Aries, and not seeing that something that didn't work out, there's still an opportunity there to reconcile that friendship or that situation. Okay, there is a person here who is focused really on something that didn't work out. But Aries, something that you lost in November, there's more to be gained. Okay, this is not that the glass is half empty. There's still something here. The Five of Cups it always shows a depiction of something that still remains upright, even though. So it's like taking your wins and your losses here. But some of you guys are definitely regret. There's the regret here, disappointment, something that needs to change about the conflict in your emotion. Specifically the past, because Mercury was retrograde for the most of November. So this is water under the bridge. Be careful not to, I guess, I don't want to say ruin, but be careful letting the past dictate, or there is something here about something dictating your emotion and the way that you feel, and it's linked to the past regret. You want to change your point of view to what still remains in that situation, because you still have something here. Now, this could very well be talking about a career, a home situation, financial fulfillment. Some of you guys may be feeling regret as far as the future goes. This is a future card. This is about the long term. So when you focus on the long term, Aries, do you focus on what didn't work out or what could still work out? When you focus on your future, Aries, or your home or your career or a family situation, financial fulfillment, are you focusing on what you don't have, what you lost, or what you still have to gain, and what you have? Now we have the Queen of Swords. This is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius woman. This could be your energy as well. Cutting certain things out, saying what you mean, meaning what you say. This is intellectual energy, communication. It's kind of cold though. This may be the energy of you walking away intellectually, because we do have the Eight of Cups coming out next. There is a decision in a crossroads. Some of you guys have not decided. There's going to be this time in November where there's just this halt. And I believe it's the time of the new moon in Sagittarius. So basically there's some kind of decision to make between November 28th and December 12th. There's a decision someone isn't ready to make yet. They can't really see that clearly. This is a decision to walk away, a decision after you walk away. There's some kind of soul journey. So we have the new moon and the full moon here. New moon in this picture, full moon in this picture. This is the new moon here. You may have a decision to make in regards to something in and out in your life. You may be dealing with a Sagittarius, another Aries, or a Leo. This could be a friendship, because we do have the Three of Cups here. This is something that didn't work out with a friend zone maybe. This was a friend that you had passion with in the past. There's a second chance here. Somebody, maybe this is you, Aries. It's very interesting when this card comes out for a fire sign, because is this you or is this someone else? If this is you wanting to charge forward, rush. You want to be passionate. You know, you're not going to really think about the consequences because you're just going off of the quest of passion that you're on. But you have a decision to make whether you should walk away from a person who's been in and out of your life passionately. This is kind of a player energy. You may have blocked this person, or there just may be a block of communication passionately, because the Knight of Wands comes in to express itself really fast. That reminds me of you, Aries. And here are those 3 cups that were knocked over. So this could have been a loss of a friendship in the past, a loss of celebration. It might even been on a Halloween, you know, around the time of the Aries full moon that this all started, because this is the past, a past celebration, Halloween. Some of you guys are dealing with just being single and independent, self-sufficient, confident on your own. But there is this awakening. Now, there might be a friend here that calls you, or a friend that wants forgiveness. But there's a second opportunity to reconcile here. Someone does want a reconciliation. Someone who was in and out of your life. Someone who you were in and out of their life. There's a decision here whether you should charge forward passionately or walk away with the emotion that you have. You know, going on a soul journey to kind of figure that out further. Again, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, women, very important. Could be men as well, but this is conversations that you have in a feminine way, conversations that you have with female energy. This is the truth and nothing but the truth, cutting through, you know, only accepting like facts and information, none of that bullshit. This is cutting through the bullshit, specifically when it comes to work, family. You're getting very truthful and clear about that, Aries, cutting certain home environments out. This even could have been a family member or a crowded home situation, but Aries, we're back at the start now. This tells me that there is definitely some emotional conflict, regret, disappointment, sorrow, depression even. Some of you guys could feel like you're losing a home environment, you're losing your stability, you're losing a career, a job. Excuse me, Aries. But we're back at the Emperor, meaning that you can control all this. You have the power. Okay, this is your empire. And remember the differences here, Aries. And the Lust card could very well be that that Knight of Wands energy, that strictly sexual energy, friends with benefits. Like, maybe that's why you're not able to obtain what it is that you want, because if you really thought about it, Aries, either you or the person you're dealing with, your intentions are passion based. They're lustful. So it's not a desire. Maybe it's an obsession on your behalf or someone else's. You could be obsessing over the past and why something didn't work out, especially if you're doing that Aries thing where you feel like you weren't confident enough. If you feel like your ego was bruised in the situation, okay? It makes sense why there's some differences here between love and lust, you know, desire and obsession. Those are the differences that are coming to light. So let's go ahead and shuffle the cards now, Aries. For this month, I'm just going to get one card for each week of November. I've been sick, so today is the November 18th. We're recording this right at the tail end of Scorpio, and we're headed into Sagittarius season over the next few days. So yeah, we're gonna have to look into the past a little bit of how you entered November, Aries. So let's see the first week of November for Aries. Give me a card to represent the first week of November. Wow, okay, interesting. So you could be dealing with an Aquarius, because Aquarius also received the Magician card for the first week of November. That, or a lot of us just came into November really focused on the resources we had, because we had that full moon in Taurus. Aries, you had a full moon in your second house. So this was ending certain things, letting go of certain things that don't really belong to you. This is all about resources, values, possessions. The Magician is the only tarot card who has all 4 elements. He's got water, he's got air, he's got fire and earth there on that table. So he's got the cup, the wand, the sword, and the pentacle. So there's like nothing that you can't create when you get the Magician. Now this is the energy of Mercury though. And Mercury all throughout November is a huge planet because it's retrograding in your 8th house. You know, this is a lot of 8th house energy, so it makes sense why sexual energy is coming up. Intimacy, transformation, endings, beginnings. But yeah, you were trying to manifest something at the beginning of November. This was a magical week, believe it or not. A lot of communication. But we have the Nine of Swords at the bottom. So this tells me that you guys had a lot of anxiety about resources. You had anxiety about communication and manifesting something. With this combination, you want to be careful, Aries, because the thoughts that were keeping you up at night, with this Magician, they were manifesting. This is anxiety and it's manifesting. A lot of spiritual people talk about how our thoughts actually shape and form our reality. So yeah, some of your anxieties and worries and sleepless nights, nightmares even, were manifesting. You know, your fears, you know, whatever. Having a hard time sleeping the beginning of November with this Mercury energy. Maybe some of you guys were anxious about, maybe this was someone you haven't communicated with in a while, and it's like you either wake up in the middle of the night because of this energy, or you're not going to sleep at a decent hour because of all these thoughts. And I think this has something to do with someone you wanted to communicate with. For others of you, this is anxiety about having enough resources. Behind the Nine of Swords, the Four of Cups. So this was a missed opportunity to you. This is about not being emotionally available. Again, you're focusing on those three cups and not seeing, you know, this is that energy where you were regretting something, disappointed. Okay, Aries. So Magician, anxiety, worry about manifesting something, communicating something. So interesting. Okay, Mercury retrograde there in a very dark part of your chart. So basically transforming your anxieties about what it is that you have, Aries, and what it is that you lost. So let's look into the second week of November 2019. What was the second week of November for Aries? Let's give me one card to represent the energy. Okay, we almost had the Three of Cups again. So celebration, reconciliation, communicating with friends. Okay, we have the High Priestess coming out. Interesting. So we have Mercury and the Moon. These are two major arcanas. So the first 2 weeks of November were very major for you, especially when it came to secret communication, something that's manifesting at a soul level or in the dark. Something that you don't know. You could be dealing with a Pisces or a Cancer or a Virgo or a Gemini. Someone here may have like a Virgo or a Gemini moon, because the moon is very important. Now we do have a Taurus moon. We had a Taurus moon the second week of November, so the moon's energy was very influencing you. This is the moon in your second house of resources, Aries. So there's just, it's almost like the Taurus moon energy where I feel there's a fear here, or something that you don't know about your resources, or about something that's manifesting, believing that you have enough, basically. Following your intuition, very important the second week of November. Also, your dreams, and if you know your moon sign, very important here, because this is the shadow side. Possibly being a bit more silent or secretive, or just, you know, the veil here that you're trying to, see through. Remember, we have the Nine of Swords, so this could definitely be a dream or a nightmare that you had that relates to this Magician. Now, the bottom of the deck here is Justice. So there is something unknown about karma here. You could be dealing with like court lawyer energy, but this is about harmony. Someone here may have a Libra moon. Okay, now the moon in Mercury, this was new moon in Scorpio energy, so October 28th. And then we had a full moon in Libra as well. So moon in Libra, very important here. In justice, this is secret justice. Karma is going on behind the scenes for you the second week. All right, behind the Justice card, we have the Five of Wands. So yeah, there was a battle, there was competition, specifically in regards to maybe a fire sign, a Libra, an earth sign, but something that you needed coming in. You're willing to fight for it. Okay, you could have been dealing with a Virgo. Let's see the third week of November for Aries. What is the third week of November for Aries? We have the Seven of Pentacles. I seen a slight indication of the Devil card, which is Capricorn energy, but it could also be a toxicity, manipulation, that lust energy we were talking about, obsession, desire. I can't remember what other card I see. Now I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune. So there's something that's changing. There's going to be a new beginning, and I see Saturn, Uranus, Jupiter, a lot of major arcana here. I'm trying to find that Devil card. Could be dealing with a Cancer, some of you. Sagittarius, Pisces. I did see the Devil card, and I think it was, I don't know what the other message was. I didn't see it. So maybe this is about not seeing something that's toxic, right? But either way, the third week is the Seven of Pentacles. So this is about what you're investing secretly, what you're investing at an emotional level. This is about reaping what you sow. This is some kind of harvest that you're waiting on. This is a waiting energy. So the third week of November, it could definitely be about waiting to see whether the work, the energy, the time, and the effort you've put into a person, place, or thing is paying off before you move to the Eight of Pentacles, the next card, which would be, you know, I love that the Seven of Pentacles is right before the Eight, because it makes sense. The Eight of Pentacles would be working on something really hard. Before we work that hard on something, though, before we put in our effort, regardless of how much we have to understand the value of that. We have to understand the potential growth. So I always say with the Seven of Pentacles, are you standing before a vibrant bush of pentacles, or are you standing before, you know, a dying twig? Like, this is something in your life, the third week of November, Aries, that you're going to get clear about. You're going to have to do some waiting. You're going to have to do some counting, some numbers. You're going to have to add some things up energetically, metaphorically. But you're going to know by the end of November whether you're going to continue standing here and trying to invest, trying to grow this pinnacle, or is it a waste of your time? Are you in profit, or are you in debt, Aries? It's specifically because the first 2 weeks of November are very spiritual and magical for you with the Magician and the High Priestess. You want to follow your intuition about what you're manifesting. Again, this is things manifesting at a subconscious level at nighttime with you. You're manifesting your emotions, so be careful with your fears. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords, you guys. So yeah, there is going to be some kind of, there was an ending or will be an ending, a painful ending. This is the light at the end of the tunnel. Don't worry. This is something you want to end, Aries, especially if you've been standing here. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy here. And you're standing here in the dark, you're like waiting. It's like really hard here. I've never seen this combination, but you're gonna have to trust your intuition on this. It's not gonna be shown to you in an earth way. It's not gonna be money or numbers that you can rely on here. It's the feeling that you get. Second and third week of November, what you're intuitively being shown, what you feel about waiting here with this investment. There's an ending, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, to a painful situation, but you're going to start seeing the light. And we have the Wheel of Fortune under that. So there's an ending the third week of November. Maybe this is an ending to you waiting and wasting your time. I do feel like this is a waste of time. It may feel that way just because you're in the dark. So I don't know about you, but it'd be very hard to tell whether something is growing in the dark. Meaning that you're going to definitely have to follow your wits here. Meaning you're going to have to tap into what you feel secretly. You know, this could definitely be about some kind of resources, money. Okay, but there's an ending here for most of you that is destiny. This is your luck turning around, Aries. This is Chiron. Chiron is in Aries, the painful, wounded healer. So if some of you guys are feeling kind of out for the count the third week of November, like you've been backstabbed, betrayed, like you're a victim, like you've lost everything, that's going to turn around, okay? Jupiter energy here. Could be dealing with a Taurus, a Leo, an Aquarius, a Scorpio. But this is the Wheel of Fortune, turning. Let's get the fourth and final week of November 2019 for Aries. How does Aries end November energetically? One card, please. We have the Three of Wands. This card wanted to be shown. We have the King of Swords. Could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I see the Ace of Wands and the Tower. So there's a lot manifesting here, Aries. It's very magical. This may be shocking passion, a shocking new beginning that's manifesting into your life, maybe with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Excuse my cough, you guys. I'm still getting better. Bottom of the deck for your whole reading is the Hermit. So you could be dealing with a Virgo, or there's an underlying energy here for the whole month of just kind of embracing your solitude, those moments where you're alone. It's just been brought to my attention that every card on the table is someone who's alone. You know, you're manifesting alone. You're alone with your resources. You're alone in darkness. You're alone with your intuition. You're alone waiting, and you're alone waiting. Second half of November, two cards that portray waiting, Aries. Okay, this is about the ships that are coming in for you. Okay, End of November, yeah, ships coming in. This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius season is going to want you to expand your horizons as your ninth house of philosophy, beliefs, long distance travel. There may be travel here. You may be waiting for something to come in, waiting on resources or money in order to do something. Okay, very interesting reading, Aries. Let's kind of go over it a little bit because there may be more messages here. So the first week of November, we have the Magician, Mercury energy, Gemini, Virgo. We have the Moon. So Mercury and the Moon, secret communication, secret conversations, having to follow your intuition about what's manifesting spiritually. But Mercury and the Moon, very important. The Moon and Mercury were together just before the beginning of November. So right when Mercury went retrograde and there was a new moon in Scorpio, all that happened at the same time, end of October. So it makes sense why you're kind of coming in. There's like this, I don't know, this is not, I don't want to say dark magic, but I did just hear that. Meaning it's just magic happening beneath the scenes. It doesn't have to be like something scary. That's why you have differences here, right? You want to honor those differences, Aries. So yeah, a lot of resources here. Definitely the Taurus full moon affecting you here the first couple weeks. Two major arcanas. I feel like you have two major arcanas and two minor. So the first half of November, I should say, major things going on beneath the scenes, manifesting. Second half of November is going to be a little less, I'm not going to say less important, but it's more so about what you're waiting on the second half of November, Aries. You're waiting on something to grow. Maybe that ending happens with the Nine of Swords. You finally stop investing in something. You close that door and now you're turning your back and you're expanding your horizons elsewhere with Sagittarius energy. Let's check out the bottom of the deck. We have the Hermit. Again, you could be dealing with Virgo. There could be a new love coming in after you spend time in solitude. This is about being wise this month. The Hermit here is wise enough to be on his own. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely, Aries. Okay, so the time that you spend in isolation is going to help you with your intuition. It's going to help you manifest. It's going to help you determine whether your energy, time, and effort is paying off. Because by the end of November, you're waiting on something to come in. You're waiting on you can see it, Aries. But, Mercury retrograde has kind of messed time up. So Mercury goes back direct on November 20th. It's going to be in shadow period until mid-November or mid-December, sorry. So from now until the new moon in Sagittarius, from now until the full moon in Gemini, that'll be around December 12th or so. You may be watching and seeing something in the distance that is coming. You may have an intuition the second week of November about how the rest of your November is going to go. But either way, we have you being very wise, following your lights, spending time in solitude. We have the Ace of Cups, okay, new love. After you've spent time in your solitude. Aries are very solitary creatures. A lot of Aries I know live alone. And it's not that you guys prefer it that way. You're just used to it, There is some conflict here. There is some competition. Remember, I mentioned that at the beginning of your reading when it came to other people expressing themselves, it depends on how they're expressing themselves, right, Aries? Because, man, I am not going to be mad at you guys if you guys got to, charge at some people and compete. This is competition, tension. Now, there may be people who are competing over you, Aries, when you're just hanging out in your solitude, but there is a new love amongst this foolery. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. We have two aces here, so there may be conflict as far as what you see physically and what you feel. Wow. So there's physical growth here that you can obviously see with your eyes. Financial, like you can't deny the numbers, you can't deny the logic and the facts when it comes to the Seven of Pentacles, but I know there's also investments made at an emotional level, investments made at a spiritual level. So it's interesting that you have these two new beginnings and then tension in between. So something you need, maybe some of you guys need new emotion, you need love. And I'm saying that lightly because all of us, we need to love ourselves, right? But we have the Ten of Cups here. You could be dealing with a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, specifically male energy. Yeah, some of you guys are expressing, you could be dealing with a Cancer. But we have you expressing yourself, Aries. It could be dealing with a younger fire sign or a child. I do see an energy here of children and home environment. The Chariot could be a vehicle. We have another page here. So children for sure. Some kind of investment with a vehicle or moving forward victoriously. Fast forward movement, expressing yourself, Aries. We've got young fire sign, young earth sign energy here. So new finances, new passion, a new adventure, possibly emotionally or with a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. But you're balancing your emotion and understanding fulfillment, long-term emotion here. Now, some of you guys, this Ace of Pentacles is linked to a home environment, a reconciliation, moving in with someone, but you may need money for a home or something, a new beginning. This is something you need coming in, but there is some competition for it. You may have to fight for it, Aries. There may be conflict. Some of you guys, this may be happening in a home where there's too many different personalities living. That brings me back to the difference card. If you guys are butting heads with certain people this month, it has something to do with your ultimate desire. It has something to do with what, you know, everybody has desires. Everybody wants something different in this situation. So maybe try to find something in common with this situation. This is a different energy to talk to you about though, Aries, because you're an emperor, you're a fire sign. You're handling this better than, say, a water sign or an earth sign would. You know, fire and air can handle these battles, especially you. This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But we have the Ace of Cups. There's new love. Maybe healing energy. You might be healing this competition. You might be healing this fight or this argument. There might have been fights, Aries. You could have gotten in a fight. And I see someone who's crying. This is a battle of emotion. New emotion that you're feeling this month with Scorpio season, but also new physical things coming into your reality too. But we're back at the Hermit now. So this lets me know that you guys are trying to be wise about all that energy. You're trying to pick your battles wisely emotionally because you know there's some differences. And even though Aries is ruled by Mars, you guys don't wake up and try to fight people. I mean, I know that you guys get that kind of demeanor about you. People label you as that. But I feel there's an Aries here that is kind of over that kind of tension. You guys might just want some peace and quiet. So follow your intuition this month, Aries, specifically the second and the third week when it comes to something you're waiting on secretly. This is a secret. You're secretly investing in something. You're secretly waiting on it. Maybe this is a secret about money. But either way, the end of November is all about waiting for your ships to come in. You know, something that's far away but close. You can see it. You're waiting on it wisely. Okay? So, Aries, hopefully this helped. If you guys have any questions or if you would like a personal reading, please look in my description box and find my email. I would love to talk to you guys more about how to set up a reading with me. I love all your guys' comments. If you have any questions or concerns or just input in this reading, I'd love to see all the comments. Other than that, guys, have a great November. Happy holidays. I'm not sure if I'll be back in December at this point, but I really hope to be so that I can talk about some of the things going on in December as well. Thank you, Aries. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.